Hey there. Was Maslow wrong? We're going to attempt to answer that video. I'm going to show you a couple diagrams and we'll rephrase the term wrong if we can. But if you're continuing to use Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs, which has 5 little levels, right, like this: physiological needs, safety needs, love and belonging, esteem, self-actualization. If you're continuing to use this, all right, I'm here to tell you, you are way behind. This is an individualistic, extremely outdated model, okay? Maslow, who was a badass, I love Maslow, inside this book, Motivation and Personality, he went deep into, that's like when he first came out with the Hierarchy of Needs, and he never drew the triangle. I think many people know that. But they were in a hierarchy according to Maslow. This book was written was published in 1954. He'd been working on it for years prior, right? So thank you, Maslow. And we're going to update it. That's like almost 75 years ago. It's shocking to me that people are still throwing this around as if it's the gospel. So I want to offer an alternative. And what we have here is my model adding on to Maslow and completely changing it. Okay, here there's 16 needs in this hierarchy. And the reason there's 16 is because I've spent years now studying human beings and working with them privately and in groups and courses and trainings. And there's a few flaws with Maslow's thinking, and this was before neuroscience. It was also before attachment science came on the scene. So he was working with what he had. He didn't have the Google, right? He didn't have ChatGPT. He didn't have the internet. And he was a pioneer. So I'm deep respect and deep bow to Maslow, and it's time we update this thing. Okay? So I'm working on a book about this. And the bottom 2 needs down here, the very, very bottom 2, all right, are the most important. And this I learned from Gabor Mate. The bottom 2 needs are attachment. It's the very bottom one. And then the next one up is self-expression. Okay, so it's not physiological needs like air and breathing and all that stuff. It's a person. Okay, because without a person taking care of a little baby, you can't survive. Babies don't live unless someone takes care of them. So the attachment bond between caregiver and child is the foundation of this new hierarchy of needs. And at the very, very top, I'm still close to Maslow in that the very pinnacle is not self-actualization. We're not going for some abstract term like I want to actualize myself. No one talks like that. Most of us are going after a feeling. And that feeling at the very top is fulfillment. We want to be fulfilled, not happy, okay? Happy is bullshit. I wrote a blog post about the fuck happiness. I would read that. I would encourage you to read that blog post. When people go after happiness, they feel sad and depressed. So fulfillment, on the other hand, includes happiness and sadness. It includes all the polarities of the emotional range that we experience as humans. So if you really want to be fulfilled in your life, you actually have to meet all these other needs. And very few people, they say to be fulfilled, just do what you love, follow your bliss, Joseph Campbell. Be yourself. It's so individualistic still. Okay, I've somehow got to manufacture fulfillment on my own. No, fulfillment happens in relationship. And so this entire model here is a relational model, okay? And I'm going to unpack this in future videos if this is interesting to you. Some of you, I don't want to bore with all the details, but just know that the way from early attachment and expressing who you are as a little teeny baby all the way up to fulfillment is going to take other needs getting met. And the big distinction here and the big difference here is secure and insecure relationships. Secure relationships allow for genuine, authentic self-expression. Insecure relationships shut it down. So how could I be fulfilled if I'm in insecure relationships my whole life, or I continue to find people that hurt me and aren't good to me, and I don't trust people, fulfillment is impossible. You know, meditators in Tibet can reach a certain state of fulfillment, maybe called enlightenment, and to me, that's even skeptical. But meditating in a cave, is that how you want to live your life? And even those meditators, the advanced meditators, have support. It's still relational. It's in the context of a relationship. People are feeding them. They're bringing them food. They're bringing them new things and supplies. So, folks, in this modern day, right now, with our endless distractions of phones and everything else, it's time to embrace being a relational, social mammal. And if you can say yes to this, and if you can begin to understand yourself in the context of relationships, your most important relationships, like your family of origin, an intimate partner, your closest friends, if you can understand yourself in that context, you have a really good shot toward fulfillment, which is what everybody is longing for. And it's not the summit. We don't just work our ass off our whole life and at 80 we're fulfilled. Fulfillment, actually, you get to have it along the way in your journey as these other needs get met. If you want to dive deeper into this, please watch more of my YouTube videos and come to my 2-day retreat called Relationship as a Personal Development Path Toward Fulfillment. That's what we're going for here, right? Excellent. Leave a comment below if this was helpful, or if you want to hear more and you want me to unpack this more. And it would be really cool to do it with you in a 2-day retreat when we have a lot of time together. Virtual retreat. You can just sign up and get the recordings. You don't even have to attend live, okay? And that's relationshipschool.com/path. Relationship is a path, okay? The link is in the description as well. See you in the next video.